Exploring my own philosophy in music education was a very thought-provoking experience because not only did I ponder my own pedagogical belief system, but I also explored other teaching philosophies and reflected on how this course, 1802, has transformed my own way of thinking about teaching and learning music. The classroom setting of 1802 played a big part in developing my own pedagogical views. In all facets of teaching and learning, it's obviously crucial to be surrounded by other people, not only with similar visions, but also with different logical paths of thought. In order to explore one's own values, it's necessary to keep open to new ideas because, well, how else are you going to develop an educated understanding of your specialty? I find that in the particular field of music education, it's significantly more important to engage with other educators and musicians because engaging with others in a pedagogical setting also warms us up to the concept of student engagement. This matters because the teacher-student relationship correlates strongly with music success. One of our first readings on studio teaching touches on the subject of teacher-student intimacy and its importance in the passing of information. In a classroom, student-teacher engagement will allow music students to break out of their shells and engage with each other, much like we did in this class, and essentially we come full circle because we apply those interactions when we go on to teach our own classes. Another benefit of engagement in pedagogy is that it provides the ability to reflect on your own musical endeavors. For example, when we went off and did our interviews for the Music and Everyday Life project, some of the friends I interviewed would answer one of my questions about their musical habits and then ask me, how about you? And then I think, well, damn, how about me? And actually start thinking about these questions. And that really opened up the opportunity to reflect and start to develop my own philosophical ideas. In order to be able to put my philosophy of music pedagogy into words, I did some research on other philosophies to gain a better understanding of my own. David Elliott from New York University points out that music education philosophy is taught very narrowly in nations where music philosophy is relatively new as a school of thought. Of course, I agree that it would be great to have courses on this, but I also think that a student gains an understanding of their stances and beliefs through a conventional education in music where they're implicitly being exposed to several philosophies. With that being said, I dove into the relatively shallow rabbit hole of music philosophy, where I found Victoria Bowler's 3 philosophies of music education. Each of these diverge in the sense that they value the appreciation of music in schools differently. First of these is the utilitarian philosophy. The utilitarian philosophy believes that music serves as a functional tool to fulfill other purposes. It's the idea that music is a vessel to help students develop a better understanding of external subjects. So in the classroom, you're teaching music to highlight mathematical, linguistic, or scientific concepts within music. I've witnessed this way of learning because often in my elementary school we would connect lyrics to logic and we would connect rhythm with math. The second philosophy of music education is the aesthetic philosophy, which in my opinion seems to be the most popular at my age. The idea of this one is that you're studying music to learn to get better at understanding or playing music. Some of this philosophy reflect more on musical qualities, reflecting on concepts such as beauty, emotion, and expression. The final of the 3 is the praxial philosophy, a school of thought that's relatively new. This philosophy supports the idea that music is an effective characterization of a person's beliefs, values, and motivations. So music is viewed as a humanistic facet and thus is inherently valuable. The praxial philosophy puts an emphasis on the opportunity to express oneself artistically and socially through music. David Elliott, mentioned before, was one of the first advocates for this philosophy in the 1990s. Generally, musicians may be inclined to say that all 3 philosophies apply to their belief system and use them together as arguments for the simple fact that music should be included in curriculum. It's important, however, to have a specific cause to fight for and a clear vision of what you think the purpose of music is. With that being said, I personally am a proponent of the praxial philosophy above the others. I've always been the type of person to make connections between worldly things and human nature, but before taking this class, I leaned more towards the aesthetic philosophy. I believed that music is a value in and of itself, and that everyone should at least encounter musical literacy in order to be able to better interpret and practice expression and emotion, whether it be through music or other art forms. Throughout the semester, though, I've witnessed music education in so many different streams through the guest speakers. The difference in background between educators like Jay Hodgson and Dr. Benedict highlights the idea that music truly is innate. My interview with Sam touched on this idea, and I heavily reflected on this conversation after the fact. We really are built with music in our souls, just like we're born with defense maneuvers and the predisposition to love our mothers. This innateness is where different cultural forms of music and even new pedagogical ideas are coming from. With that in mind, I think it's crucial for students to be able to explore the music within themselves, as opposed to the linear learning system that we've come to criticize. That's a valuable takeaway for me from this course, because this train of thought pushes me to challenge widely accepted practices, which really is the only way to find new and effective ways of teaching. So that's the way my philosophy developed over the last few months. I hope you found this intriguing and hopefully pulled something out of this. Thanks for watching, and to Dr. Schmidt and Gustavo, thank you guys for a fantastic semester.